Good evening, everyone. My name's Paul, and this is David, and a warm welcome to the F45 Challenge, our last 45-day challenge of 2021. So we're looking forward to a whole bunch of you coming and joining us for this challenge. I'm going to do it this time around. I've done a few challenges before, but I've got a couple of goals that I want to try and achieve. I'm looking to drop about 3 kilos of body fat. Going to go off caffeine, all caffeine for 6 weeks, and I'm playing around thinking about doing some kind of fasting, but I'm definitely going to sign up for Fresh Fitness Foods and do some clean eating for five days a week and see if I can do that. So that's my goals. What we wanted to do today, hopefully in about 30 minutes or so, is to talk you through what the challenge actually entails. If you're going to come and join us, either as a member, you're going to jump in, or as someone new to F45 Highgate, what does the challenge entail? What are you going to get? What can you expect? And how's all this going to work? So if I can, and hopefully you can see the slides. Did I just click through that? Thank you. So to try to not bore everyone to death with loads of text on the slide, I'm going to start with a little bit of a story. And there is a reason to this story, I promise. It's relevant to the challenge. You just have to wait a little while to get the punchline. Back in 1905, there was a race to see who can be the first to get to the South Pole. The North Pole was already achieved a couple of months earlier. So these two gentlemen, Roald Amundsen and Robert Falcon Scott from the UK. Roald was from Denmark. These two gentlemen, both independently, decided to go and have a race to be the first to get to the South Pole. They both arrived roughly around the same time, within a day of each other. They were about 60 kilometers apart as their starting point, and they both had a group of men going along on the journey with them. But they both decided to go, and it was a couple of 100 miles that they had to go through over quite rough terrain and pretty wild weather, as I'm sure you can imagine. And they both went after very different strategies. Robert Falcon Scott and his Brits decided to go on a strategy whereby every day they would have a look at the weather, and if the weather was good, they would absolutely hammer it. And if they can get 30 kilometers, 40 kilometers, 50 kilometers on a really nice clear day, then they were going to charge ahead and get as much ground covered as they could. Reversely, when the weather wasn't very good, they were going to hunker down a little bit, let the storms pass, see if they can get a couple of kilometers in there. And that was the strategy that they were going to go after. Roald Amundsen and his group of Danes decided on a different strategy, and they said, no matter what, if the weather's good or the weather isn't very good, we're going to try to do 20 kilometers every day without fail. And that then gave them a very set time when they thought that they could reach the South Pole. So off they went, and they charged ahead, and they went in different directions. They couldn't see each other. They went off in a different way, all trying to get to the end result, see who could be there first. And I'd be curious in the Zoom if people are able to find a way to chat. I'm wondering if you're able to chat through who you think won that. Any ideas, David?
I'd say slow and steady wins the race, but
slow and steady. Slow and steady. All right. So we'll hold that thought for a little bit, and we'll come back to that. So let's flick on. Just to give you a little bit of evidence about this 45-day challenge, it works. It does get results. On average, when we calculate it out, and admittedly our studio is just over a year old now, but on average, people through the challenge lose about 3 kilograms of total body fat. Braden here won at the end of last year. I won't go through all his stats, but he lost 8.7 kilograms of total body weight. That was just over a quarter of his total body fat mass. And certainly as a young man, it was important too that he lost quite a bit of visceral fat. He was a great character. He was very disciplined. He took to 3 or 4 classes a week. He signed up and done food delivery to help him keep a very tight nutrition plan, very dedicated over the 6 weeks, and he achieved some amazing results. And I think had a bit of fun through that process as well. Dia, for those who come in on a regular basis, the F45 Highgate, probably seen Dia, achieved some amazing results as well. Her and her husband went 32 days in a row, come in and done a class. I mean, it's amazing commitment. So over the 45 days, 5% total reduction of her weight. 23% of body fat was reduced. She put on some muscle mass, which was excellent results. Really, really impressive. Hector, and in this dynamic photograph, he doesn't look like he was carrying an awful lot of weight, but still, he lost about 1/3 of his total body fat mass over 6 weeks, just 6 weeks, over 45 days, and increased his muscle mass all through that process. So it does work. And I put up this little picture of someone trying to push a car, and if you think about you're trying to push a car to the other side of a car park, it's really hard. It's really hard to get it started. And if you can pull in a couple of friends, the more people you can get, you can begin to get it moving. And once it begins to move and it gets a little bit of momentum, you can ask a few of your friends to leave, because the momentum, you can begin to push it a bit faster, to a point that actually you can push it on your own, and it becomes quite effortless and quite easy to push it all the way towards the end of the car park. The reason that I bring that up is it's a bit like this 45-day challenge. Everyone comes into it with different goals, want to achieve things. Most people come in and say they want to lose weight. Some people want to get stronger and put on some muscle. Some people do it for, they want a bit of structure in their lives. But it's hard, and we all find life gets in the way, and bad habits get in the way, and friends and social lives will get in the way. And that's the bit about it's very hard to get started. It's very hard to, to get the car moving. We're here to try and be that group of friends to help you to get the car moving a little bit. So the F45 Highgate team, plus your fellow challengers, and in the last couple of challenges, we had about 40 odd people came into this. So as a group, collectively, we all help each other to push and get started on this journey. We hope this journey is not just for 45 days. We hope the 45-day challenge is a start and helps you get started in some routine and some structure and experimenting with different things and discovering some new things and creating some quick results that you can then take yourself and continue to push over the long term to try and achieve those long-term results. So to get to the point finally, what's different about the 45-day challenge? So why not sign up a membership and just come in as often as you can into the Highgate studio and do as many classes as you can? Well, what you get from the F45 challenge is a detailed body scan. And Dave's going to talk through in a bit more detail about what that is. So there's a body composition scan where we look under the covers and see what's really there. And as part of that, we'll talk about your goals and what you're trying to achieve and how you might be able to achieve that. We'll give you full access to an F45 challenge app that will become like a Bible. There's loads of information in there, and we're going to share a couple of slides and talk you through a bit of what you can expect in the F45 challenge app. You'll get the full support of our team. David and the other trainers here will be as supportive as we can, and as supportive as you want us and allow us to be with you. If you want to crack on and do your own thing, that's fine. We'll keep a little bit of an eye on you and push you along a little bit. But if you want us fully involved, we will be as involved as you would like us to be. We'll ask you if you would like to join a WhatsApp group of other challengers who's going along in this journey with us. So our team of trainers and all the other challengers will be in that WhatsApp group. And we have a bit of fun. We have a bit of banter. We share success stories. We'll share some painful stories. We went out and got drunk last night. I had a big slice of cheesecake. I haven't been to class for 4 days and I'm feeling guilty. what you'll find is that other challengers will be feeling the same thing and will be feeling equally guilty. And we hope that through this kind of team collaboration, we'll all motivate and inspire and help each other to get through the 45 days. And it's only 45 days. At the end of the challenge, everyone who finishes the challenge, gets through 45 days, has achieved at least one of your goals, and has got all the way through and completed the final body scan with us, will put your name in the hat, and we will do a draw. And out of that draw of everyone who finishes the challenge, one person will get a really good big cash prize just in time for Christmas presents. Everyone will win a little something from us as a signature and a congratulations for getting through the 45-day challenge with us. More importantly, we hope that you're going to have some regular fun through some competitions, and we'll run a couple of little competitive things and over the 6 weeks and have a bit of fun. More importantly, what we're really hoping is that this will provide you with your first steps in going towards whatever transformation or whatever goals it is that you're looking to achieve. So with that said, I'm going to hand over to David to the next one.
Yeah, so I think the most important thing about this challenge, or maybe not the most important thing, but a very important thing at the start, is that we identify where you're currently at and then put into practice some goals or lifestyle habits, nutrition points, whatever it is that's going to help you achieve that. Now, everybody's is going to be different. But what I'd like you to start thinking about now, if you're watching this video before coming in for your sit down, is have a little think about challenges. What do you actually want to achieve over this period? And I'm going to say it now. I don't want anybody coming in saying, I want a six pack, I want a big chest. I want smart objectives. How can we measure them as we go through the challenge? For instance, if one of your goals is to bench press as much as you can with dumbbells, come into a strength session. Let's see where you're currently at now. Sit down with me and we can talk about what's feasible over a 45-day period. Of course, if you're doing 10 kilograms, you're not going to get all the way up to 30, which is why we're going to try and be very realistic about these. But at the same time, we want to shoot for the stars. We want to try and give you the platform and those goals that make you want to come in and achieve them. So first of all, start having a little think about what it is you want to achieve over the challenge period. Secondly, what I'll do is I'll get you to stand on the InBody machine and we'll have a look through where your scores currently are. And then based on what you've told me, I'll advise you if I think what you're aiming for is the right thing to do, but also what you want to try and do, how can we tie that into other goals that I think you should be working towards? So without going too far into it and giving too much away before we go into those InBody scans, at a top level, you'll be able to see your muscle mass, your body fat percentage, your basal metabolic rate, which is how many calories your body burns doing nothing, which will allow us to then tell you how many calories you should be eating alongside the F45 challenge and coming into class. But also, as Paul alluded to earlier, there's something called your visceral fat. Now, this is the fat that we can't see, and I have to hold my hands up to this. Although on the outside, I may look like I'm in relatively good shape, sometimes my visceral fat has gone up because of lifestyle habits that I've been doing, drinking, namely. So it's more than just how fast you can run, how quick you can do this, how much you can lift. It's that holistic approach to what we're trying to do. And definitely here at F45 Highgate, we want to be changing your lifestyle, not just your aesthetics. So yes, it is about how you look, but it's more about how you feel off the back of being able to do that. And as I say, we want to set challenges and targets that are achievable for you, which again is great for motivating you through this 45-day period. So yeah, as you can see on the screen, this is an example of what the InBody can show you. And then, as I said, I will sit down with you and say, this is how much you need to be eating based on whatever it is you want to do. If you want to build muscle, burn fat, train for athletic performance, whatever it is, we'll sit down and help you do that. And then there's lots of options available for you. You can either cook your own food based on the challenge app. You can work on the calories that I give you and use an app of your choice to make sure that you're eating the right amounts. Or, did I say Fresh Fitness Food?
Not yet.
Not. Or you can do Fresh Fitness Food, which is our official food supplier. And they'll do tailored meals for you based on the information that we can give them. I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, and so we'll do an initial scan to set the goals and talk about goals. We'll then, at the end of the 45-day challenge, get you booked in again for another scan, and we'll see how have you progressed on those key performance metrics. Hopefully we'll see your body fat's gone down, the muscle mass gone up a little bit. Overall, your weight will have changed according, hopefully, to the goals that you have set for yourself.
And then, yeah, as you said, we need you to be hitting one of those targets, and it's going to be set kind of by me. I don't want you coming in saying I'm going to do one session over the 45 days and you're in the hat. Let's be sensible about it. Let's really push you to achieve whatever it is you want to do over the 45 days. And then once you've made one of those big ticks, we'll pop you in the hat. But at the same time, I'm not looking for you to come in and say, I want to do these 100 challenges and goals over 45 days. It's realistic based on where you currently are. So if you are overweight and looking to burn fat, we may just focus on that. And then however we shift the dial, that can be your win. Whereas somebody's been coming for a long time and wants to do a number of things, then we can see how we approach that.
Right, so the second thing you will get access to is the F45 Challenge app. So we have a couple of different apps, but this will, I promise, become your Bible. So the F45 Challenge app, you would log in to that. If you're on the challenge or a member with us, you use exactly the same login and password as you do to book classes with us on that app. It's exactly the same thing. You will be granted access to this. And in there'll be a whole library of information and videos for you to learn stuff related to your goals and what the challenge is about. You'll be able to do on-demand workouts and train. You'll be able to track the key metrics. So from the in-body scan, you'll be able to plug in your initial stats and other kind of stats that you want to be measuring. You'll be able to track those on a week-to-week basis. And the more that you can track and measure, the more accountable to yourself that you're going to be. So you can do that within the app. And then eating, there's a whole bunch of, it's a massive database and library of nutritional information. So there's meal plans if you want to meal prep and do your own cooking. There's shopping lists. There's recommended food every day based on the goals and how many calories that you're recommended to be consuming based on your goals. There's other bits of inspirational stuff. You can search for different things that you have an interest in, be it protein shakes, protein balls, desserts and salads and all this kind of stuff. And you've got the option, as David talked about, to, if you're a bit like me and you don't like to cook, but you want someone to do the cooking for you and send it to you, you can order food delivery through Fresh Fitness Foods, and we'll touch on that in a second. Just to briefly touch through some of those things, like I mentioned, there's loads of articles and blogs and videos released on a regular basis to keep you entertained and educated. And again, just to reiterate, the challenge, we hope, is a starting point for you to learn lots of information that you'll be able to take into your own future and become much more self-sufficient. So the more education you can do, the more experimenting with things, the more you're going to be able to sustain, the right kind of healthy lifestyles. Daily tracking, lots of information that you can plug in as relevant to yourself. Probably one of the more important ones here is your basal metabolic rate and your calorie calculator. Do you just want to talk briefly on that, Dave?
Yeah, so your basal metabolic rate is basically the amount of calories your body burns doing nothing. So if you were to literally lie down, not even moving at all, your body has a requirement for energy just to survive. Now, if you don't meet that requirement, it needs to get it from somewhere else. So it will start to metabolize the fat that you've got on your body, or maybe even muscle, depending on how much fat or the quickest source of energy. So we obviously don't, as I said, just lay around doing nothing. We have an activity level that we need to apply to that basal metabolic rate. So I can't do the math in my head here, but the calorie guide here is spitting out 2,661, which I think would be for a moderately active person. And it's got a multiplier of 1.55.
That's my stats, by the way.
Oh, that's yours, is it? Okay. Maybe it is moderately active then. So basically, what we'll do is we'll take that basal metabolic rate, times it by your activity level, and it will spit out your maintenance level calories. Now, this is the amount of calories your body needs to be able to maintain where it currently is at. Then, depending on what your goal is, for instance, say you want to burn fat. Notice I'm saying burn fat and not lose weight. They're two completely different things. So if we want to burn fat, we'll manage the calories. So you're in a deficit. So we'll take that maintenance level calorie amount, take the deficit amount off, and that's what you're going to be aiming for on a daily basis. Now, if that's confused you at all, don't worry. You've got a big section with me where we can sit down and talk through it. But yeah, just know that it's all going to be bespoke for you, because you're going to sit down with me and we'll work it all out.
Right, so on the app again, there's some pretty cool online workouts, on-demand workouts in true F45 style. It's the same classes that we run in the studio every day. So today we had Foxtrot, tomorrow we've got Renegades. You would have exactly the same on the F45 Challenge app. You have a body weight version. You have a version that uses some weight. So if you have some weights at home and you aren't able to come into the class, you're traveling or you're in isolation or whatever the reason is, and you fancy doing a workout at home, then you can pick up those weights and have some alternatives. There's also quite a nice daily recovery workout, 45 minutes with Christina Chan, which is well worth doing if you're really going for it and you do need to stretch and recover. So you've got some pretty good online, on-demand classes on the app. And the final bit here is about eating. As I said, there's a whole recipe menu list, whole database. You can go and have a play, search for stuff if you want to be really structured and disciplined and follow the F45 guide. They have a daily menu recommended to your options and the amount of calories that you're looking to burn. And you can go vegetarian, you can go plant-based, you can go vegetarian, etc., etc., etc. So there's a couple of different options in there. You've also got the option, as I'd mentioned, to do the food delivery piece, which is through Fresh Fitness Foods. Now, Fresh Fitness Foods is the F45 food delivery partner. They're a London-based company. They will deliver anywhere within the M25. They will deliver to your home or to your office or even to our studio if you're coming in here early in the morning and want to pick it up from us as an accountability method. They will cook the food usually the evening before. They will then deliver it between midnight and say 4 a.m. Of the morning. And when you wake up in the morning and open your door, you've got a delivered fresh cooler bag with your breakfast, lunch and dinner in there. And if you so choose, you can have a couple of snacks in there as well. Personally, I'm going to do it 5 days a week. So I'm going to get breakfast, lunch and dinner and 2 snacks from them for 5 days a week for the 45 days. And the weekends I'm going to, well, I wouldn't say to knock myself out, but it's the weekend, so everyone deserves a little something.
Balance.
But hopefully the 5 days gives me that kind of structure. There is a good discount through F45 Highgate. So through the Challenge app, so you can click through that. And from the Challenge app, it'll take your metrics and the goals and the calorie calculations that you've already put in, and we'll play that through to Fresh Fitness Foods. The nutritionists there will also take your preferences around if you're vegan, vegetarian, carnivorous, pescatarian, and their nutritionists will then package up meals according to your stats and your preferences, and then they will push that through and have those delivered for you. You get a 25% discount off your first week, which is pretty good. Just to give you a little bit of a price point, how much is it? Without the discount, a meal, a breakfast, a lunch, or a dinner is roughly speaking £8 a meal. I think a snack is something like £2 or £3, depending on the snack. So it gives you a little bit of a benchmark. It's not the cheapest thing in the world. It's cheaper than McDonald's and pizzas and stuff like that. But it's good, nutritional food that's going to fill you up and will definitely help you towards achieving your goals. And you cannot underestimate the importance of good nutrition through this 45-day challenge. Right. So let's get back to that story in the South Pole. Who actually won? So just as a reminder, the Danish team went on 20 kilometers every day without fail, irrespective of what the weather was. And the Brits decided to hammer it on the good days and to hunker down a little bit on the bad days. So who won? Well, I can tell you the winner was the Danish team. And the moral of that story, exactly as David said at the beginning, slow and steady wins the race. If you wake up one morning and you feel absolutely pumped, you know, you've had a really good meal the night before, you've slept, like a champion and you're feeling on top of the world and you think, you know what, I'm going to come in and do 2 classes. No, actually, I'm going to do 3 classes. I'm absolutely going to kill it today. That is not the right strategy. And unfortunately, in the South Pole story, the Brits actually ended up, every single one of that party ended up dying. Oh, unfortunately, really? So it's a bad kind of moral on that one. But that is not the right strategy. Take a measured approach, slow and steady, find a structure, find a rhythm, find a routine, stick to it. That is the way that you're going to get results in 45 days. More importantly, that's the way that you're going to get results over the long term in a sustainable and repeated and a healthy manner.
I think it's worth on that note as well, actually saying, if you come in and I work out realistically how much fat you can burn over the 45 days and it doesn't sound like much, just bear with it. It's a long-term goal. If you've got, say, 20 kilograms to lose, and I'm telling you that you're going to lose 7 or 8 pounds over the 45 days, that's fine. It's slow, it's steady, it's manageable, it's maintainable. Don't try and do too much too quickly and then not want to come back. Chip away at it, little goals, and you'll see benefits in the long run.
Well said. Last slide, I promise. So what happens now? So if you're interested to come and join us and be part of our 45-day challenge group, and I hope you will, and everyone needs a little bit of challenge. It can be a big challenge, can be little challenges. If you're a member already, it's £25. And we only charge that really to keep you accountable, to try to make sure that you commit and see it through to the end of the 45 days. If you aren't a member yet, we'll ask you to sign up to the challenge pack, and that's on our website. We'll ask you then to book yourself in for a body composition scan and a consultation. There's 30-minute windows. We have that in our class booking system, which is also on our website. So the same as if you book yourself into a class, book yourself into one of those F45 challenge consultations. And we have it from next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So there's 30-minute time slots. First come, first served. Book yourself into that. And we will commit to you if you can commit to those times to go through that session with us. If you can't make any of those times, get in contact with me, send an email, send a text, and we'll try to figure out an alternative time that works for your schedule, and myself or David will work with you to try to get that done at a time that best suits you. Ideally, we do that before the challenge begins, but if you can't make that for whatever reason, let's say if we can do the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, after we've already started, that's okay. Importantly, think about the goals, as David said, that you're keen to work on, both short and the longer term. Come into that body scan and consultation prepared to talk openly about what those goals are, and we will challenge you a bit in those, particularly to make them specific and measurable and achievable, etc. You'll tell us if you would like to opt into the WhatsApp group. It's not for everyone, and there will be lots of banter and lots of nonsense and stuff like that going on, but it's fun and it's motivational. So I hope you will join that. Once you're on the challenge or you're already a member, just go into the F45 challenge app, have a play with it, start getting familiar with it, start getting friendly with it and see how it works. If you haven't already done so, and we might have sent you away with some homework on your goals, agree the SMART goals up front or as early as we can. And really importantly, have an open and an inquisitive and a resilient attitude through this. It's 45 days, it's only 45 days. It's not that long, but there will be times where it's kind of dark, it's cold, it's wet, you feel like you're having a bad day, you just want to binge on some food or drink or what have you. Be resilient, focus on those goals, because once we get you started, one step at a time, we're going to push that car all the way across to the end of the car park and beyond. So that gets us to the end of our little presentation. If anyone on the call had any questions or any observations, very happy to have those. You want to come off mute and tell us what your question is. Because otherwise we're going to take silence as dinner time.
I think it's just the two people here. So, but thanks, guys. Very informative.
I think we've educated and informed everyone incredibly well, David.
Well done.
Either that or we've sent everyone to sleep. Anyway, so we are recording this. We shall post this onto YouTube channel, and I'll send an email out with a link to that for those that are really enthralled with this and love to watch this over and over and over again, or pass on to your friends or otherwise. Other than that, we look forward to you joining us on the challenge, and we look forward to supporting you to achieve your goals.
Perfect.
All right, guys. Thank you for the claps for those on the call. You have a nice evening ahead. Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.